Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be going over styles for fonts, and I'm also going to go over with you on some fonts that you can download for free online, just like and also some places that you can download um, free styles, as well as if you want, if anyone's interested in getting paid one or paying for some, I have some places that I know that you can buy them at. I'm gonna look up red carbon texture. Let me see, red texture. Oops, red texture. Oh, yeah. I put that texture twice accidentally. Let's see what we got in here. Um, oh, that's nice, but it's not the quality that we need. Okay, here we go. This will be good. Alright, so we're going to use this background, we're going to copy it, we're going to go to new, we're going to paste it. It's a pretty good size texture. Okay, let me see here, because I want to make it fit. There we go. Okay. Okay, so we're going to make that as a pattern, so you're going to go, if you don't know how to make patterns, you're going to go to edit, and then define pattern. And then you're going to click OK, but I already did. So then we're going to come over here, and we're going to basically double click on the font layer. Now, there's different style methods that you can use for fonts. Basically, in the module, I'm going to use res as an example. You can use different blending modes. If I'm actually going to make this one solid color, which I want to be black, um, just to show you. Um, so for like the drop shadow, you could definitely make some pretty cool effects with this. You can basically, make it a different direction if you wanted to, make it a different size, different angle. Um, so there's the drop shadow. The outer glow is basically like the edges of the font glowing. In this case, I'll use black. Um, it's pretty cool. You can have like a spread. It could be like, it's almost like kind of like the stroke tool, but different. Pattern overlay. This is what we're going to be using. There's the font or not font, the pattern that we just basically saved and imported as a pattern. Um, there's other ones. There's pre-installed. That's grass. If you're looking to do grass, there's basically trees. I mean, that looks like a grunge texture, but play around with that a little bit. Gradient overlay. This is going to be another one that we're going to be using. Let me see here. Basics. So that's another one that's one we're gonna be using. Color overlay, it's basically just pretty self-explanatory. If you're using like different like texture effects in here, you can always change the color and then use a blending mode. Um, Satin, this is sort of like almost like a spray brush effect in a way. It has like some variety of different, like, I don't know, it's like within the text itself, it's like different textures that you can, well, not different textures, but it's almost like a lighting scenario where, for example, you're using color overlay. Say if this is red, this is black. So here's an example. Um, just basically, it's almost like you're adding. Um, it has its purpose. Like there's different things that you can use it for. Um, and there's inner glow, basically the same thing like outer glow, except it's inside the font. So see like that. You can always use like a color overlay for that. You can use color overlay and satin, make a cool effect like like that. That's one example. So that's the inner glow, the inner shadow. Basically, it's the same thing. We're gonna make it like a darker red. Um, I'm gonna go and make inside. If you notice that the font, um, sort of, you can see the darker red. Oops, not green. So you can notice the reds inside of the font. if you look at it. Whoops. So it's one. That's the inner shadow, and then we have stroke. I use this usually a lot. Same thing. It's almost like the outer glow in a way. You can do it on the inside, or you can do it on the outside. Um, Basically has its purpose for that. You can also use gradient. You can have the different sizes for that. You can change the colors. You come in here. We're just gonna go pick a crazy color. Um, you know, go wild with it. There's blues. These are your gradient palettes. And then you can also use a pattern. So the pattern that we just created is in here. You can notice that it's coming out. So the stroke tool is a fun tool to use. Bevel and Boss. This varies. I like using it to make your text sort of like shiny in a way. This is also a good tool to use if you're going to use it for like chrome. Basically like a chrome effect. Let's see here if I can try and make like a chrome effect for you guys. Usually it's really hard to, let me see here. I mean, I can do a pre-made chrome too, but this is like a whole process. Like you can make some cool effects with it. You have to play around with it and, just try to do something interesting. Yeah, so this is, you could do outer bevel, inner bevel, pillow, stroke, emboss, chisel hard. This is like to get your font to look like some of that old style Rocky type 3D, very sharp looking styles to it. It's pretty cool. Let me see here. You can bring it down. You can bring it up. So it's pretty cool tool to use. So for this tutorial, we're actually going to go and we're going to make our, we're going to do a variety of things. Right now, we're going to make our own style. Basically, I'm going to use a drop shadow. Let me see here. Maybe, do I want to do an inner glow? No, maybe not. Pattern overlay. I want to do that. Let's bring this to sort of like a silver or gray. And then we're gonna go in here. We're gonna do pattern overlay. We're gonna use that pattern that we made. We're gonna go back up to our gradient overlay, and this is where blending modes become something that you want to focus on when you're doing stuff. If you want to like make the gradient still show with the pattern, use your blending modes. See, now you can see now you can see the texture that we just made earlier. That's within the text. There's multiply. There's color burn, linear burn, and there's that style if you like that. Just all sorts of cool effects that you can get out of this. That's pretty interesting. For the most part, I'm going to leave it to multiply. Satin, we're not going to use satin. Inner shadow, let's see what we can do with inner shadow. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I like that. That's cool. We're going to just take it. We still have that edge. Do we want to include... Let's see here. No, I don't want to do that. Although I will say maybe have a gradient. We want to make sure that we can get the gradient the opposite way, so that's why... Let's see. Make it negative 90, so we're having a gradient that goes the opposite way. And then we're going to have red. I want red. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. So when usually your gradient is always pointed up, and you can use like different angles, and this is usually with anything. When it has angles, you can change the angles. You can make it as customizable as you want, but in this case, I'm just gonna do it this way. And then bevel and boss, I'm going to see here. Do I really want to make it that? Or we can make it a little bit less. Yeah, that's cool. Again, this is where blending modes become something that's useful. Multiply. Okay, that's cool. We're gonna kind of give this a slight. So there's that. I want to scale my pattern up just a... No, I want to scale it down. Scale it up just slightly. And then we're going to go back and probably use... Yeah, so that looks better. We're just going to... We're going to try to make that... So you see, this is how you pretty much do a customized poster or sports style, I guess you could say. You can use whatever patterns you want. Now you could also save your styles too, and if you ever want to, you can always sell them. But here's a new style. You're gonna come. Basically, you want your style saved. You're gonna come over here. You're gonna click OK, and then that's gonna save it to your palette. Now, for example, let's see. If you go to your window, your styles, you scroll all the way down. Here it is, right there. And we're actually gonna go off onto our new thing. That's why you see all the styles here. But now, see, just click it and then it reappears. So there's one way. Now I'm gonna do something a little bit fun since today's Halloween. I want to get a font. So I'm gonna show you how to download fonts. This font is called dovfont.com. I recommend it for any people who are starting out doing graphics. It's a great essential tool to have, especially if you want, certain fonts. Now, I remind you, not every font is going to be in here. There's fonts that you will have to eventually pay for, but for the purpose of this tutorial, I think it gives you some pretty cool fonts to work with whatever it is that you're doing. So I'm going to download this font here called Green Fuse, and I'm going to download that. Then you're going to click Install. I'm going to go over that. I'm going to basically search up the font, Green Fuse. There's our font we just downloaded. We're actually going to make that white. So this is the point where I'm going to go over with downloading styles from online. So notice there's a whole bunch of styles that you can get off of basically any website. Pretty much play around with any styles that, and you can even like customize these your own. Once you download them, you can go back in and it's really cool. Like a lot of these you can really get creative on. Take your time, and that's a really neat kind of style. And certain styles work better with certain fonts. I feel like if the style, or depending on like the font, if it's really bold, sometimes the fonts can be a result of how the style looks. These are just different styles that, like this one, this is cool. This is like a fire effect. I think that's pretty neat. This is where you kind of get into the gold, the metal, the chrome, probably. Just like all sorts of different styles. I mean, there's all sorts of different styles. I mean, even some in Photoshop that are pre-installed. Like they're pretty. I mean, they're basic, but it's pretty neat. I mean, it's fun how how far it's become. But if you guys ever want to, how you guys import these, first of all, you're gonna make sure that your styles palette is open. You're gonna go to basically import styles. You're gonna go to the styles that you want to plug in, or basically import. You're gonna click on it, and then you're gonna say load, and then they should pop up within the folder that they're in, and then you can just start using them. So it's pretty self-explanatory. It's pretty easy, depending on like the style that you want. Like for example, for this one, you can double-click on the text, and then you can go in here and you can change like the color. Maybe you don't want that yellow, you want green, you can go in here and do green. Notice that it just changed color. You could go in here and make it like a, sort of like a lime yellow. Go in here and do an overlay. You're going to do a, maybe like a, whoops, make it like a mint. Or, well, no, do like a slight slime kind of color. And then for outer glow, we're going to do a little bit yellow, and then we're just going to take this up. So, yeah, it's pretty easy to I mean, you can work around changing like certain styles. You can play around with it. It's pretty fun. You can change things. You can add things. It's pretty. It's no doubt that you can't play around with styles. And then once you start becoming comfortable with trying to figure out like how to mess with styles, like with the ones that you download for free, you can also start to realize like what everyone's doing, and then you can start making your own styles if you wanted to. So this is just another video to show you guys like how to basically do certain styles with fonts, and also learning how to download different style fonts from various websites. So I'm hopefully within the next couple of videos we're going to be going over some more advanced stuff as far as now that we're starting to learn type. We're going to start trying to incorporate that in some way into our poster. We're going to go back into the model that we did in week 1, which is the first video. So I'm going to leave it at where we're at right now, and then in the next video I'm going to figure out what video I'm going to do next. I know one of them is going to probably be going over again on the hair tutorial. That's probably going to be a part 2. But the next video I'll start to probably figure out. Maybe I'll go over more with typography and fonts. So, yep. Thank you guys so much for joining me today and watching this video. Like the video if you like it. Please subscribe, because that's the only way that you're going to be able to know when I post video. Also, if you hit the notification bell, that's how you're going to know. But if you subscribe, you will also get notified too. Please also take note that if there is any certain Photoshop tutorial that you want to know about, or you want me to kind of go over and explain to you a little bit more, I am happy to do that. But other than that, thank you so much for stopping by and watching the video. I will talk to you again soon.